One build to rule them all. This is the current #1 best pit clearing Necromancer build, and for all other content, currently in the first position in the Pit Leaderboard. It was already incredible in Season 5, but Season 6 put it a notch above, especially with Runewords making Spirit Surfer better than ever. Big shout out to Scribblet for the idea with the Runewords. How does this destruction in the background now work? The damage is coming from Bone Spirit, but we don't have Bone Spirit in our skill bar, and that's where the Blood Artisan's Cuirass comes in. We have to consume 3 Blood Orbs, and then we're going to shoot out 1 Bone Spirit. And the best part is, these Bone Spirits scale with everything you kind of give them. Ranks into Bone Spirit, bonus Bone Critical Strike damage, the key passive, all of this makes it stronger. And in Season 6, Blood Wave nowadays puts out 6 Blood Orbs per wave. Oh, and you can cast 3 waves in a row with the right aspect. 18 Blood Orbs per cast of your ultimate, and your ultimate is being spammed. Like, it could be a core skill at this point and not an ultimate skill anymore. And if you think about it, what does that mean when you can spam your ultimate? There is a rune for it that says whenever you cast your ultimate, you get tons of offering. And this rune we're currently using for one thing, and that is actually casting our Decrepify. Decrepify is not in the bar. Decrepify is the skill we need for damage reduction on the enemies, to slow them, but also to execute them if they have 10% or below life. So we just drastically increased our damage by just straight up cutting their life short. And especially if you're doing pit 90s, 100, 1010, that 10% life, it's so much. Now, we already said we're spamming Blood Wave to make those Blood Orbs, to then have Blood Artisan's Cuirass make us ghosts. How do we consume them? That is with 200% attack speed Blood Lances and the aspect of the Gore Quilts. How do we get 200% attack speed? Give me a short second. Let's go on the Blood Lance first. You're spamming it, you're consuming the Blood Orbs, you're making the Bone Spirits, and by casting your Blood Wave, you're also cursing. So you don't even have to manually curse anymore. Now you get your Corpse Tendrils to pull things together, which makes even more Blood Orbs. And in order to get them vulnerable and to double the damage of every Bone Spirit, we cast Bone Prison. Bone Prison has this amazing aspect in Prison Spirit that says your Bone Spirit that explodes inside a prison explodes again. Ergo, we put this ginormous prison up, double explosions, you do a 5 billion hit, and then the 5 billion hit explodes again for 80% of its damage. That's almost 10 billion. Just like that. Brilliant. But Pony, that's a ginormous prison you got there. My prison ain't that big. You know what they say, size matters. And that's why we're playing the Path of Trag'Oul. These boots are, I would almost call them a poor man's solution, but they work fantastic. Why the Path of Trag'Oul? They give you ranks into bone skills. Now, if you don't have boots that actually have a greater affix bone spirit, then the Path of Trag'Oul will always be better. This is 5 ranks in bone skills right now on mine. You can get +8 into bone spirit if you had greater affix bone spirit boots, which I don't possess after 50 hours of gameplay. But it makes the Bone Prison bigger. More targets in the Bone Prison, more targets taking double damage. And there's Bone Splinters coming out that give us essence every time they hit. This leads to me actually going from 160 essence up to 240. Now, we don't actually need essence because we're infinite. But the key passive says, Bone Skills deal 0.5x increased damage for each point of essence you have above 50 up in cast. My normal bonus inside the city is 54.6. And if I would now, during combat, get another 80 essence plus, that's another 40% damage multiplier with a Path of Trag'Oul like that. Works fantastic against bosses standing right in the middle, or just tons of minions being encased by it and getting hit. All in all, we're currently having 25 ranks in Bone Spirit running. Yes, that sounds quite crazy. It's a core skill, so everything that actually boosts core skills also boosts Bone Spirit, which makes the Ring of Starless Skies pretty amazing. But also the Air of Perdition, the new helmet, definitely fits right in there with ranks into core skills, your gloves with rank into core skills, and the chest itself having the chance to get a +8 bone spirits too. You can get in total +37 ranks into bone spirit. Now, how do we get 200% attack speed? For this, you have to understand that there's an attack speed cap 1 and 2. One is hidden of them. The attack speed cap 1 is the one you see in your stat sheet. And that one tells you all the permanent attack speed bonuses, what you have on your rings, gloves, inside the Paragon board, stuff like that. Things that are fixed. And then you have the additional bonus, the temporary ones. For example, Erathmus Chosen gives you 50% bonus attack speed if you overpower. We don't need this one here, but that one would go into attack speed cap 2. And interestingly enough, if you temper blood attack speed on your gloves, offhand, ring, amulet, that blood attack speed, that's actually attack speed cap 2. So if you already managed to get to 100% normal attack speed, especially with Variana, your mercenary, which can give you another attack speed bonus, then every blood attack speed temper goes above 100%. And the more attack speed you have, the more blood orbs you consume, the more bone spirits you pump out, the more damage we deal. And the gameplay loop couldn't be simpler. You're essentially just spamming out Blood Wave. And by spamming Blood Wave, you curse enemies for cooldown reduction and execution. Keep in mind that wherever your mouse cursor is, at the moment you shoot out the Blood Wave, that's where the curse lands. Then we bone prison everyone, and we just keep blood lancing in this whole process. I essentially never let go of my right mouse button that's continuously yeeting them out. You would think we run out of essence? No, because our chest restores 9 essence per blood orb consume, and on the ring you can even temper another blood orbs restore essence. But all in all, your blood lens actually does not cost a lot. And in between, you can explode 5 corpses really quick succession to actually get the Flesh Eater Paragon node bonus. And versus bosses, Infernal Hordes, Tormented, you just stand on one spot, turn in a circle like a Beyblade, and shoot in every direction your blood waves and everything and destroy them like there's no tomorrow. Very fun. Very good playstyle. You do only need 1 single point in Bloodlands, the rest is from bonus core skills right now, and what we want is paranormal Bloodlands. While at least 2 targets or a boss are affected by Bloodlands, you gain 15% attack speed bonus, that's nice, but the Bloodlands essence cost is also reduced. Then this bonus core skill damage goes into the Bone Spirit, because Bone Spirit is a core skill. We're playing Blind, because Blind is another 20% bonus damage if you just yeet that against a boss, super good. And 1 single rank into corpse explosion with a triple to fueled by death. I explode 1 single corpse, 9% more damage. I explode 5 corpses, 49% more damage. We do have a permanent barrier up because of Necrotic Fortitude. Yeah, that's it. Just permanent barrier up, because every single ghost that explodes has a lucky hit chance too. We do at least, I don't know, 20 ghosts per second. It's insane. That has you permanent barrier. Then we're permanently fortified for actually creating corpses with the Hood Flesh on top. And lastly, you put as many points in spiked armor as you need to get to the armor cap. For me, it's 2 right now. We have Bone Prison together with Bone Prison bonus cooldown reduction, because it doesn't hurt to just have that going on as well. Then 3 ranks in Amplify damage. We play Decrepify, and we have Decrepify with Abhorrent for the cooldown reduction. And the interesting part is, Decrepify as a rune does this. It does the 10% execute. But if I do have Abhorrent Decrepify skilled for the cooldown reduction, and I have Hard Decrepify as a rune, then I get both. I get both. I get the execute, and I get the cooldown reduction. Freak yeah. 1 single point in corpse tendrils together with make bonus blood orbs. More blood orbs is better. You don't need the vulnerable, because that is essentially what your bone prison already does. And due to the ginormous size of the bone prison, we always have them vulnerable. 1 single point in necrotic carapace is enough to have you fortified. All the points into bone spirit with a bonus crit chance, which you won't need at the end anymore. But on the other hand, you also don't need the bonus essence. So you could technically even save this point. But for the people that are not at 100% yet, take it. Then 3 points into Compound Fracture and 3 points into Avulsion, plus my amulet has even more Avulsion. Would be good to have Compound Fracture as well, or more ranks into Imperfectly Balanced, as all these are amazing scalers. Since we spam Blood Wave, we have 15% more damage all the time. Then we get Blood Wave, damage reducing 20%, and 18 blood orbs in total, with the bonus 2-hour sacrifices, and the bonus damage reduction, plus only 2 points in Inspiring Leader because I am already capped at 100% critical strike damage. Lastly, the Ossified Essence, which is just plain amazing. Quick heads up for the Paragon section, I'll give you a board that has 50 points, then I'll give you a board that has 100 points, and then I'll give you a board that has 200 points beyond. So you know what to put at each stage of your progression. You can see we're currently playing 3 mythics. You don't actually need them. This is for the ultimate damage, and the Doombringer ain't even needed or necessarily the best choice. Most important thing is Blood Orbs reduce your ultimate cooldown. The fast blood aspect you want maxed. I only have it at 3.75 seconds with 18 Blood Orbs. That's 60 seconds cooldown reduction plus. I could have it at 4.5 seconds if I get lucky. We have Intelligence is amazing, just increases all your damage, maximum life, and then 5 ranks into Evulsion. With another maximum life temper, that could also be total armor. If this is total armor, I can pull the total armor skill points out and redistribute them into more damage to close enemies. And the blood attack speed, second most important one. Again, attack speed, then blood attack speed. I have Blood Orbs restore essence. If you do have the Ring of Starless Skies, you don't need this one because you're fully essenced up. If you don't have the Ring of Starless Skies, you need this. The alternative is ultimate cooldown reduction. And when Bone Spirit explodes inside a bone prison, 80% of normal damage again. Very important. Also a way to target your skills because they will prioritize whoever is in the bone prison. That being said, if you really want to kill someone, you just walk close to him because the spirits are coming out of your chest. Your offend wants to have maximum resource. Maximum resource is more damage. Every point, 0.5% multiplier, 31 more points. Well, that's kind of good actually. With blood attack speed, maximum life and intelligence, and then chance for Bone Spirit to deal double damage. That one you technically want to have triple masterwork. I've tried, I haven't gotten it. I'm not going to try again. Blood Waves fires 2 additional waves. That one is absolutely mandatory, non-negotiable. And then on your gloves, you want even more attack speed and max life and core skills. I only have 2 ranks. I want 3 ranks, but I wasted 300 million gold on this, and I only get +2 to core skills. Blood attack speed, and then corpse tendril size. More corpse tendrils pulling everything together, better it is. Plus the aspect of the gore quills, which makes everything work. These are the 4 aspects you need. You cannot take anything else than these 4. You need the fast blood, you need to have the bone prison double explosion, you need to have the blood wave, and you need to have the gore quills to consume the orbs. Now there's 2 other aspects though, which are amazing, that could replace your Ring of Starless Skies, which gives you a bonus in core skills, so more damage multipliers as well, and the Doombringer, which boosts your life a lot, and the more life you have, the more damage you'll deal with a chest piece, because that's how the chest piece scales actually, with maximum life as well. And the 2 things you could do alternative is play a sword that has the double damage Bone Spirit temper as well, and then aspect of the Grasping Veins for multiplying up your critical strike damage. That is incredible too. And instead of the Ring of Starless Skies, which gives you another 50% multiplier, you could play the aspect of Serration. The Ossified Key passive gives your bone skills another 45% critical strike damage multiplier. You're not actually far off with these 2 items to what we currently have going on here. Pens are just having resistance max life int. That resistance to all elements could as well be armor. And again, then I can pull out more points out of the spite armor in the skills to redistribute them to another damage multiplier. Corpse tendril size to have that 100% corpse tendril size. A lucky hit chance to freeze might as well be something to look at because if enemies are frozen, they can't move. And you're kind of like pushing things around left, right, and center. So I would have to say actually a lucky hit chance to freeze is definitely something I would like to see. Then you're playing Dazed because you always lucky hit more or less. And you get another 20% damage multiplier against dazed enemies. Easy. The boots are currently the passive Trag'Oul. We talked about them with the bonus Bone Splinters for the bonus Essence. If you have normal boots with a greater affix Bone Spirit, take those with maximum life as well. Enchant movement speed on them and get a lucky hit chance to actually freeze and stun enemies as well. Or Bone Spirit Explosion Size. Even though Bone Spirit Explosion Size does not seem to be needed, the explosion size is more than good enough and we have way too many ghosts anyways. But explosion size does not hurt. The chest piece, and if you get a greater affix, it's preferable on the Bone Spirits, otherwise it should be maximum life. And it reads, dealing bonus damage based on your current life percent. Now you would say, that means if I have 100% life, I get 100% more damage. But for some reason, it literally means the more life you have, the more damage you deal. Therefore, we're pumping max life wherever we can, trying to get as much as possible. I have 18 1000 life. And I'm even playing the You Excel rune, which means cast a skill with a cooldown, which I always do, and I get another 20% maximum life on top, boosting me with a potion and this roughly to 26,000 life. Fantastic. Yes, this is the Air of Perdition helmet, which gives you +4 ranks to core skills, crit, lucky hit, movement speed. Perfect. It does everything. And a 60% damage multiplier. Technically, you could play the Crown of Lucian, which does work together with the Ring of Starless Skies as well. So this would only do good if you had the Ring of Starless Skies, because your essence cost would roundabout be 15 per Bloodlands cast. And then you could still keep it infinite with the Blood Orbs Restore Essence, Blood Orbs Restore Essence then on your amulet as well, and the Blood Orbs Restore Essence with the Blood Artisan's Cuirass. That would be an alternative for a 75% bonus damage multiplier instead of this one, but you would be losing critical strike chance, not having you be at 100% anymore. And on the chest piece, we're playing Cast an Ultimate skill, Invoke Decrepify. And the reason we're using that is because it's just a one cast done, one cast done, one cast done. You could alternative cast your Decrepifies Handish. You don't have to actually do this. You could remove, for example, your Blight and then just cast Decrepify. But that will make it more clunky, and they nerfed the Petrify. It's not insane anymore. That's what you would have used before to multiply your damage up. But then again, my Blight gives me 20% more damage, or I could get 20% more damage with a Warcry or anything. I'd rather have a more relaxing playstyle than try to squeeze out another 2% more damage. And for the Mercs, I can recommend you to go for Variana for that bonus attack speed into even more bonus attack speed, especially if you don't have the maximum of attack speed yet. And if you want to, you can use Rahir for bonus Fortify. Yeah, that will just have you easily fortified out. Alternative, you can even use them with Crater 2 to pull things together. But honestly, that just has me fortified all the time, and I'm pretty much undying. For our sacrifices, we're having the bonus critical strike chance, or if you don't meet the resistances yet, sacrifice for resistances. Then our skeleton mages are giving us the bonus vulnerable damage multiplier. And lastly, the Golem going for that insane critical strike damage stacking. And now to the Paragon board. And that would be currently the 271 point version, but that's quite useless for you because you don't have 271 points. And that's why in the planner we get the high-end mythic version, budget version, then 50 Paragon points, where you essentially just invest the minimal amount and straight up activate the Essence Glyph to then go into the Bone Graft board to get Bone Graft activated, into the 100 Paragon points for some more damage reduction and resistance to all elements, with the Blood Begets board into the Frailty node already. Yes, this is what you can do with 100 points. And then with 150 points, we can on top activate Eliminator into the Corporal Glyph as well, with here the bonus attack speed. And then for the full board, we get the high-end version that starts with Amplify into the Blood Begets board, because we want to have all the maximum life working with the Eliminator Glyph. And this is the very end you're going to do, filling all of this out. In the beginning, just take the 40 out of 40 in to finish everything else. But that's essentially with your last 30 points what I'm going to fill out. Then we're going into the Bone Graft board with the Essence Glyph, and that can have 74 dexterity in total, and max that as soon as possible. With the Flesh Eater into Corporal, only 40 intelligence needed. Then lastly, the Frailty board, as we get another 40% damage multiplier. Very important to get the maximum life and the maximum life on the side. And then we're maxing out the Exploit Glyph as much as we can for the bonus damage versus Vulnerable. And the main glyph to level up in the beginning is Essence. That one is the first one you want to 100, as it multiplies up your critical strike damage. Ladies and gentlemen, Spirit Surfer, something you're going to try out, or are you rather still on that minion train? Then I got the minion build for you, or even more information about Season 6 and how to get geared. Enjoy, have a fantastic good day.